Okay, so I'm at the trail. It is 7:06, so we're a little ahead of schedule, which, here's my logic. The earlier I start, the earlier I finish, and the earlier I can take a hot shower and relax. I am not gonna lie, I'm feeling a little nervous. I've never gone for as long or as far as I have, period, let alone on trails. And if you don't know, trail running is a lot harder. Technically, mentally, it's just harder than running on a road, and a lot harder than running on a treadmill. Which I've done most of my mileage on roads thus far, so I can do easily 15 miles just as a casual weekend run. So let's see if we can double that today. And if I can manage my pace, we can easily double that today. My hopes is to beat a marathon distance today. In a perfect world, I go 32 miles and 100% can do the ultra marathon. That would be best case scenario today. And a win would be going for 8 hours and breaking a marathon distance, because that'll tell me I could eke out 6 more miles in those 2 hours and get the finish. So I want to show you what I packed for today. I feel very well prepared, so let's get into that. Alright, so we got my trusty running box. Unclip it here. This is a toolbox I got at Home Depot, buying supplies to build a Lowe's. So we've got all sorts of carb-heavy gels and shoes. I have a first aid kit, some tough strip band-aids. I have pain relief and petroleum jelly in case I chafe. And in this bag I have an extra bladder full of water and a thing of Coke. The reason why I have that is because I hear ultra runners really heavily rely on cola for ultra running, so let's ask that today and see if it really helps. Alright, so it is chilly out, just about ready to start, but first I'm going to do some warm-ups because it is chilly, so I'm going to want some warm-ups. Alright, got the angle right. I have a thing that stabilizes the camera while running, and I figured while powering up the mountain on the paved road, I'm going to talk about my strategy for today. Today the goal is to just keep moving at any pace. Ideally I'd like to complete 15-minute miles. Nutrition, the strategy is when I'm feeling tired, gel. When I'm feeling hungry, Cliff Bar or energy chews. I have both on me right now, so I might not be hungry for a while. And the goal is to just keep moving. You can tell it's cold because I'm sniffling, but I have plenty of supplies, and between circuits I'm gonna stop at the car to restock what's in my bag. So yeah, this is an experiment trying to simulate race day conditions as much as possible. So I'm gonna, Jesus, sorry, uphill's really wrecking me still, but I'll catch you in a few miles once I get my mojo. Alright, so we're just about an hour in, and I'm just shy of 4 miles distance run. This is fantastic. I am on pace to finish 32 miles, or close to 32 miles in 8 hours. If I can keep this up, we're gonna be golden. And energy, of course, is still high. Breakfast is sitting pretty well. Yeah, just wanted to check in. I am having a blast. Yeah, lap 4. There was some steep uphill, so it was slightly longer than 15. But I'm adding a little extra to my typical trail running route. Maybe get that up to 10 miles and see how many times we can complete that. It is an intense route. lots of terrain. So I guess I'll check in with you guys once we're back at the car, I guess. Okay, almost to the car. We're 10.47 miles in almost 3 hours. So I am on pace to complete a marathon during this time. I'm hoping to get close to 30. I just want to get to a point where I can say, yeah, given 2 more hours, I can definitely get to 32. So at the car, I'm going to take a quick drink of that Coca-Cola I got. And, what's it called? Use some of that Vaseline. I'm chafing in some spots, particularly under my arm, which I knew this would happen. This has happened on shorter runs. So far, energy's not bad. My legs are not that sore, so we're gonna keep going. Alright, some POV. We had a fast turnaround time at the car, maybe 5 minutes total, which is exactly what I'd like to see for my crew on race day. I'll debrief them and maybe we can do some practice if they're up to it. But yeah, I'm crewing for myself today. Fun, fun, fun. Honestly, I am feeling great. I put some of that petroleum jelly on, took a few swigs of that Coke, and I took I had some painkillers, so I figured it wouldn't hurt to take a couple, especially since I know for a fact I'm developing blisters. Cannot wait to see the sorry state of my feet at the end of this. But back up the mountain, last time I took about 13 minutes, so we'll see how long it takes this time.
Alright, so some POV footage I took with a post-run editing page. At this point in time, I was starting to feel it. You can tell my pace has slowed down. I did not speed up any of this footage. I did not slow it down. The only editing I really did to these clips was some of them are upside down, so I had to flip them because of how my camera sat in the weird tripod thing. But after the fact, there were some mistakes I made on this run that I'd like to cover in this little section just so you get a little taste of what I did wrong. One, I did not take in enough salt and electrolytes. It was less than half of what I should have taken in, not even close to what I needed to fuel this run. So I'm working with somebody, my dietitian, and we're figuring out a way to get more sodium and electrolytes in during runs. So we're going to be experimenting with that on my next challenge run and normal training runs in the future. And another one is I was not taking in enough calories. I took in less than half the amount of calories I should on this run. When I started this run, I had a Cliff Bar, Scratch Energy Chews, and 2 energy gels. That plus a bottle of Coca-Cola, that's all I ate for the entire run. That is not enough to fuel you for 8 hours, so I think I would have performed better if I had more electrolytes and more, just calories in general, so good things to note for future runs. But other than that, I just kept trucking along, and this section of trail is fairly flat until it's not. It gets a really steep decline, which I ended up, I think I went down that section of trail 3 times, and during all 3, I walked up the uphill and ran the downhill, just simply because it was so steep, and running uphill, especially 4 or 5 plus hours into a run, is really brutal. So just be warned, if you're going to be running an ultra later on, you might not be able to run those uphills like you would like. And your pace might slow down, so be prepared and practice ahead of time is my advice.
Okay, so we are officially in uncharted territory, 18.61 miles. I don't know how well that's going to show up on the camera. And we're just shy of 5 hours in. So I'm heading up this absolutely enormous hill. And then we're going to hit the blue trail, go back to the car. My plan at the car is to switch out my water bag thing, the little reservoir, because this one's feeling light. And I don't want to run out of water in the last 3 hours.
and get some more of that sweet, sweet nectar. And hopefully we can get close to 30 miles on this run. Alright, I'm gonna eat some nutrition now and head back to the car. It's probably about 3 miles, so we're getting there. This is the longest run I've ever done. Now, both in time and distance, we're in uncharted territory. Let me tell you, that Cliff Bar hit my stomach like a bowling ball. And I just wanted to share one thing I've noticed on this run, especially when you're almost 19 miles in. It is so hard to start running again, even at a light pace, when you've been walking. Your body just does not want to move fast again. Have not hit the pain cave quite yet, which is phenomenal, considering what happened last time. I hit the pain cave like 10 miles in, and it was terrible. It was terrible the whole way. Almost to the Blue Trail. And then, it's just a matter of filling that last 2 hours, which is awesome. Feeling great. I feel like this is going to be a successful day. Expecting 28 to 30 miles. That's what I hope for. Alright, catch you on the flip side. Yeah, I walked up that hill for a while. That Cliff Bar did not go down easy. But I at least finished another mile. I'm still going. That's what matters. Alrighty. Alright, more point of view footage I took, and I did a little bit often to show the woods. It's still a little gray, not a ton of leaves yet, but, you know. It is April, and we don't really get good leaf coverage where I live until, like, May. So, we're actually starting to get it, but almost to May, so, you know. Enough rambling aside, if you like seeing me suffer for 8 hours in the woods, or just want to join me on this running journey, or enjoy food and fitness, and just want to get a taste of what ultra running is like, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. I'm going to try to find my footing and do all sorts of food and fitness related content. You get to see me make mistakes and grow and change. And it's just going to be a really fun journey. And so far has been a fun journey. What has been undocumented and what has been documented has been a blast. And I've been really working hard and would love it if you were to join me. And as always, feedback is much appreciated. Even if you think, like, I could tweak my form or improve in one way or another, or if I give anything that sounds incorrect, feel free to give it to me. I'm still learning myself. I am not an expert. And I just figured this little point of view trail running was a perfect opportunity to, you know, give you that whole spiel, I guess you could say. And all that fun stuff. But that whole self-promoting aside, I am once again lightly jogging, lightly walking. I've noticed one thing on this run. When I have the camera rolling, I am more likely to be running, unless it's a really steep uphill and I am absolutely winded. But I've noticed when I'm filming, I generally tend to run a little bit more, and it is a very interesting observation. I guess Paige wants to be big and macho for the camera, which, even in this point of view, I'm trying to go a little faster, and my pace is not fast at all. Most people can run laps around me. I'm a very slow runner, but I also go very long distances, so it kind of evens out a little bit. And yeah, and here we are at the Blue Trail. It's like a nice little grassy turnaround, and this is the most brutal and technical part of the trail, so I eventually, once I get going on it, I do turn off the camera and just focus on my footing. I just got the cutest little morale boost There are two dudes driving little RC cars on the rocks. Just driving them along the trail. Honestly, this is kind of a neat place to do it. There's a lot of rocky terrain and obstacles to navigate. If you have a RC car, consider taking it to your local hiking trail. Just be mindful of people like me or other people with like dogs and stuff. A lot of people travel these trails. But yeah, a little morale boost. Back to the 15-minute mile after seeing those guys. Honestly, I've seen it all on the trail now. Horses, dirt bikes, RC cars. What next? Can't wait. I love it. So, just stopped off at the car for the last time. Gotta put these keys. Oh, I didn't lock it. Alright, there, it's locked. Don't think anyone's gonna do anything to my car, but deter the curious, I say. Why is it so tilted? I'm still getting the hang of this weird camera thing. I'm adjusting it. So, I'm gonna do an alternate route for the last 2 hours. Where the white trail meets this paved road, I'm gonna hop off onto that. Then loop around to the dirt road and get where the dirt road meets with the blue trail closer to the base of the mountain instead of that really technical area spot, because that might be too much right now. My knees are really killing me. And then that one section around the base of the mountain, I'm going to pace back and forth until I hit 8 hours. Hopefully I only have to do that like once. But we'll see. Morale is high. We're at 15-minute mile right now. Last 2 miles are closer to 20, which is fine. This is a lot. Okay, I'm gonna focus on running now instead of commentary. So, I literally just hit a marathon. 26.21 miles. Dang, this feels good. I've never run a marathon before. And we still got 40 minutes left on the clock, which is perfect. Because if I can eke out 2 more miles, that would put me in a time frame to finish the ultra within the 10-hour time limit, which is amazing. This feels good. I'm considering today successful, even though we still got 40 minutes. All right, let's finish this bad boy. Okay, made it back to the car. It was basically 8 hours, 2 minutes. I timed it like nearly perfectly with my doubling down on that little around the mountain trail, so perfect. I did just over 28 miles, which, assuming I can walk 2 miles per hour, I think I can finish that ultra, which is great. So the first day registration opens, I'm registering for that race. I'm gonna go home, shower, and probably not move until the life returns to my body. So, yeah, I'll see you later for some reflection.
Alright, reflection time. It's been like 4 days since I did that 8-hour run, and as I spoke in the commentary, I made some mistakes. One was not nearly enough electrolytes, which actually is dangerous. So that is something we're going to work on in future runs, is getting those electrolytes in. And number 2, I did not eat enough calories, which I think in the back of my mind, I was trying to remain in a calorie deficit since I was in a calorie surplus for the past few days. But on days like that, we're doing a long challenge run or a long distance run, being in a calorie deficit should never be your concern. And I let the idea of a calorie deficit influence my decision making. It influenced my calorie consumption during the run. So I think I could have performed better and eked out an extra 4 miles if I had enough electrolytes, if I had enough calories. I think I could have gotten closer to the 32, which is something important to know. There were mistakes made. I think with the night before going to bed at like 7 p.m., waking up early, getting that breakfast, that like pretty hearty breakfast from Dunkin' was all good, but during the run, I just did not consume enough of the right things, or enough in general, so that was my biggest mistake. I was able to keep moving, and my main goal was to keep the car turnaround time fast, which probably affected the supplies I grabbed in between the loops. So maybe taking, instead of 2 or 3 minutes of the car, 5 to 10 minutes might be more efficient, especially since I would have a good cushion of time to toy around with. And on the day of the race, hopefully my crew will be able to help me get more done in the period of time I would be at the aid stations, and the aid stations will have easily consumable nutrition, I would assume. I've never actually run an ultra. The only races I've run thus far is 5Ks, which is a huge point in my journey, is running only 5Ks until the 50K, going from 5 to 50 with nothing in between. But so the actual race day will be a lot of like a lot of just figuring things out, which I am excited for. But yeah, having crew help with the turnaround time and just taking that extra time to get extra food, it's going to be huge. Other than that, I think the run went really well. I will put a little thing up on the screen of my stats from my Garmin watch. From the run, it is pretty good. I ran for just over 8 hours, like 8 hours and 2 minutes or something like that. And I remember this precisely. I went 28.18 miles during that 8 hours. So assuming I can run at 2 miles an hour, I can finish the 50K, because I have the whole trail downloaded in my phone with the altitude change, everything. And the altitude gain and loss during this training run, I think it was just shy of what I'd have to do on race day, which is perfect. That means I, without a doubt, can finish this particular course. Assuming I don't get lost, take a wrong turn or something. I'm debating doing their training sections. They break the course into 3 sections, and they do 3 training runs in the weeks leading up to the race. I'm debating doing those or not. I kind of want the race to be a surprise, like what is it going to be like, but I also want to give myself the best chances possible. So that'll be for me to decide once we get closer. But overall, I don't regret this. It was a really good learning experience, and it was great at, I guess you could say, collecting data, figuring out how I feel, and just really pushing the boundary of what I thought was possible. And now we know I am technically capable of doing an ultra marathon. So I'm going to keep training, and I'm going to try to do this same challenge run again on Labor Day. It's at the beginning of September, end of August. It's that little period. I have that day off, so it'll be a good chance for me to get out there and really see if there's an improvement over the next 4 months. Alright, if you made it this far, thanks again for watching. Consider checking out some of my other videos, more to come, and consider subscribing if you like food, fitness, or just insane challenge running. And hopefully, I will catch you in the next one.